Well, one of the things that I used to enjoy about the good old days was that you would have an election and then you would have 2 or 3 years of relative peacefulness and things would be going along pretty smoothly. Over the past couple of decades, that simply has not been true. We are engaged in a 24-hour news cycle that causes strife, problems between the left and the right. And on social media, there's bickering going back and forth all the time. And I'm not saying there aren't serious issues, because there are. The question for us as Christians is, how do we think about those issues and how do we deal with those issues? There are things, of course, that we thought were normal that aren't normal anymore, and there are things that we thought were unthinkable that are apparently quite common. So things have changed. We notice that faith is being pushed out of the public sphere, that schools, colleges, and universities are teaching things that are antithetical to Christianity. We're seeing secularism take pretty deep root, and we're seeing some very open hostility in the public. So what are we going to do about that? Around the world, we know that Christians are suffering and literally dying for their faith. And here at home, if we don't care to be silent, there's going to be disruption. All of us have families where there are people on the left or people on the right, and it's hard to even have a conversation at this point. But believers in the past have faced much worse, and they have stood faithfully for Christ. Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 16, "Keep alert, stand firm in your faith, be courageous and be strong." Now that's a call to be awake and unashamed. It means to keep alert, not being lulled to sleep by the comfort that we have, the relative comfort that we have. Stand firm. Don't allow yourself to be bent to the culture. Be courageous, fearing God and not man. And be strong, not in our own strength, but in the strength of the Spirit. But Paul then advises his hearers, let all that you do be done in love. And that keeps any courage that we have from being turned into something very ugly. We are to love as Christ loved, even in the midst of adversity and even during times of hardship. What do? How do we live this out in our lives? Well, we teach the truth at home. We don't skirt issues. We speak clearly and kindly in public. We pray for persecuted believers. We refuse to become bitter. Christ was like that. He had a firm conviction and a gentle heart, and that's how we should stand too. In a culture that is collapsing, a faith that stands in love still shines brighter than anything else. The word endures, the gospel stands, Christ reigns.